Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening and thank you for tuning into a brand new episode of The Nation Wants to Know. I'm Deepthi Sachdeva. As we begin the show, I want you to look at certain graphics, certain catchwords that have been used by a very, very powerful leader, a former chief minister of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. He says we are not their slaves. Masjids and madrasas are being locked in Uttar Pradesh. He also says we are the Maliks of Jammu and Kashmir. Muslims are being humiliated, he says in Assam. Beware of the approaching storm. In Karnataka, it is the BJP government that banned the hijab. He doesn't just stop there. He says they will have to face the storm. Powers that want to suppress the Muslim, we need to all teach them a lesson and ensure all that is not repeated in Jammu and Kashmir. Sounds familiar? Now this, remember, is a tried and tested script of the leader called Omar Abdullah. Someone who was beaten at the hustings in the last Lok Sabha elections. This time around, when you have the elections just around the corner of the state, he's fighting to be an MLA and he has tried this time to contest from 2 seats. Gandarbal and Badgam. Gandarbal again is a constituency that is a known family bastion, and on the other sides, even Badgam, he says, is, a constituency that I can represent. But then today, when he was speaking to the electorate, speaking to the voters, look at the kind of things he has spoken. He's spoken about Muslims being humiliated in Assam. He's also saying that it's the BJP government that asked students, girls to remove hijab in Karnataka. Then he also speaks about a lot of these quote-unquote forces who wants to silence us. He says, I always knew Delhi hated me. But they hated me so much that there was a conspiracy to defeat me in the Lok Sabha elections has only now become clear. So, ladies and gentlemen, is this Islamophobia, the tool that is being used by Omar Abdullah right now, only and only to ensure that he wins this election? Is he running scared? Is he very, very scared right now of a lot of things that have changed in Jammu and Kashmir, at least after the abrogation of Article 370? He is telling everyone that BJP is my enemy. But the idea is that also to consolidate his core vote bank. The same vote bank that decided to dump him, that decided to ditch him, that decided to defeat him at the hustings in the last Lok Sabha elections. So is this Omar Abdullah fighting for his relevance? Before we move ahead, I want you to quickly listen in to what Omar Abdullah has said. Can this kind of an Islamophobia be allowed in a secular country like India? And is Omar Abdullah not guilty of trying to use hate and fear to win at the hustings? First up, exactly what he said.
यूपी में जिस तरह मुसलमानों के घरों पे, दुकानों पे रोज बुलडोजर चलाए जाते हैं, उसका तो परसों सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने उसका जायजा लिया और कहा यह गैर कानूनी है। जिस तरह यूपी में हमारे मस्जिदों पे, दरगाहों पे, हमारे मदरसों पे ताले लगाए जा रहे हैं, वो बात हमसे छुपी हुई नहीं है। जिस तरह आसाम में बीजेपी की हुकूमत में हर बार अगर किसी को जलील करने की कोशिश की जाती है तो मुसलमानों को, वहां जब सैलाब आता है तो कहते हैं ये जिहादी सैलाब है। क्यों? क्योंकि मुसलमानों को जलील करना है। हमने जम्मू कश्मीर को उन ताकतों से बचाना है जो वैसे हालात यहां पैदा करना चाहते हैं, जो हमारी आवाज दबाना चाहते हैं।
तो कौन है ये लोग जो उमर अब्दुल्ला की आवाज दबाना चाहते हैं? Is the critical question. Is it okay to spread fear, paranoia like this, to tell the Muslims in their own country that you are second-grade citizens? Should this be allowed by leaders like Omar Abdullah? The BJP is hit back. Listen in to what they said before we open up this entire conversation.
बुलडोजर तो बहाना है, मुस्लिमों को डराना है और वोट बैंक की दुकान चलाना है, यही उमर अब्दुल्ला फिर से कर रहे हैं। उमर अब्दुल्ला जी, अभी तो आप ही के साथी कांग्रेस पार्टी के नेता और मंत्री हिमाचल में कहते हैं कि वहां पर तो मस्जिद अवैध है और वहां पर तो मस्जिद को हटाया जाना चाहिए। तो यदि आपको लगता है ये टारगेटिंग हो रही, तो हिमाचल किसका प्रदेश है? तो कांग्रेस की सरकार है। तो बताइए कांग्रेस से कब रिश्ता तोड़ रहे हैं?
So there is also Shehzad, who's also raked up what's happened earlier in Simla at a mosque, and where you have a known Congress mantri, the same Congress that is today working in tandem with Farooq Abdullah and Omar Abdullah and the NCP to fight the Jammu and Kashmir elections. So much for hypocrisy and spreading fear amongst the minorities. Let's say good evening to Tom Barakan, the national spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Professor Jyotsna is the national spokesperson of the TDP on the show. We'll have her on the screens in just a moment. Also, Lalit Ambardar is a noted activist, again, who has a very, very strong opinion on the entire issue. He speaks from his heart. We also have Abid Mir Megami, the leader of the Congress party, on the show, along with Advocate Nilofar Masood, who represents the National Conference, and Professor Bhuvan Bhaskar Joshi, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, on the show. Lalit, let's begin by asking you, is Omar Abdullah really scared? Is he really scared that after the, debacle that he saw at the Lok Sabha elections, he might just end up losing these upcoming elections? Because things have changed, people think differently, people are talking of peace, development, people are talking of a lot of other things. So is that the reason why he is telling people कि भाई मुसलमानों की कोई भी स्थिति अच्छी नहीं है इस समय देश में?
Listen, what's playing out in the streets of Kashmir is not limited to Omar Abdullah. Abdullahs are the original Islamists of Kashmir. We know it, all of us we know it. What they are trying to do is they are trying to consolidate Muslim sentiment, Islamist sentiment in Kashmir in the name of pan-Islamic fervor. So India happens to demonize Hindus, demonize Hindutva, and of course, if you talk about at the party lines, demonize BJP. It's the same Abdullah, senior Abdullah, who said, "Ye BJP walon ko samandar mein dal do," right? And he forgot Seri Farooq Abdullah, Omar Abdullah was groomed by the same BJP, right? And this is a very dangerous trend. They're talking about Muslims in the rest of the world. Very same society. I'm not surprised. They performed the Islamic ritual of Friday Fatiha for Osama bin Laden, the barbarian. They empathize with Hamas in Gaza. They have sympathies with Taliban. I recall when Kabul fell to Taliban, this same senior Abdullah, Sheikh Abdullah and his counterpart Mahbub Mufti, they welcomed the arrival of the Taliban. Well, rest of Muslims in rest of India called it freedom fighters. What is shocking is, and I blame you, the media, for it. He's talking about the plight of so-called plight of Muslims across the world and in India, but nobody is asking them what's happened to the Kashmiri Pandits, Kashmiri Hindus in Kashmir. What did they do to the Kashmiri Hindus in Kashmir? Where are they? 32 years ago, on 9th of January, the dreaded cold night of 19th of January 1990, discovered Farooq Abdullah, elected chief minister of Jammu and Kashmir. He abandoned Kashmiri Hindus to the mercy of jihadists who are wearing those headbands with Islamic calligraphy written on that, with AK-47 guns, and they were looking for Kashmiri Hindus. Rape, murder, mass murder. I want to tell you to the rest of India, since you are not been talking about it, Hindus in rest of India have swallowed the genocide of Kashmiri Hindus, quoting one incident, spoken by, not me, a retired police officer, just a second please, retired police officer Mr. Sahai, who must have worked right under Farooq Abdullah as well as Omar Abdullah as well. He makes a faux pas. He says, what was shown in Kashmir files, there was worse incidents in Kashmir than Kashmir. A mother and daughter, duo Hindu.
Absolutely. And Lalit, this is the reason I wanted you to begin this entire conversation. Because this exposes the hypocrisy of a lot of these netas who today are telling us that the minority, that is the Muslims, he says, are feeling humiliated across the country. Let me also get in Nilofar ji into the conversation. Also good to have Jyotsna ji right now on the screen. She represents the TDP on the show. Nilofar, would you want to respond to what you just heard from Lalit? And can you tell me why is, Farooq Abdullah right now, Omar Abdullah, why are they running so scared to a point where Omar Abdullah has to speak a language of Islamophobia?
I don't think he's speaking the language of the Islamophobia. What has been said by the Ambardar, we should know that BJP has been doing the divide policy. It has been continued by them from last so many years, and they believe in dividing the country, especially the minorities, be it Christians, be it Muslims. They are under attack. We have seen the religious card being played in so many states where elections were being held. We have seen the politics on hijab, talaq, halala. Then we have seen politics on madrasas also. These all belong to the Muslim community. And why should Muslim community be always targeted again and again? Just to
Who's targeting them? Nilofarji, who's targeting them? If you have the courts in the country, the courts of the country speak about bulldozers, the courts of the country are speaking about the hijab. All these matters, Nilofarji, go to the court. You are well aware of this. But still you will use this opportunity only and only to consolidate your vote bank, because the allegation is that, Omar Abdullah right now is running scared. That what if after the Lok Sabha elections he ends up losing these elections also? He's already fighting for his relevance.
He has always spoken against anything which goes against anybody's religion. Yes, the matters have been decided by the court, but these are sensitive matters. What Islamic religion is for me, it may not be for you. And your religion is at your place, my religion is at my place. We need to respect everybody's religion.
Yes, but there is a constitution and there is a rule of law in the country, Nilofarji. You accept that.
What is the reason? What is the purpose? Purpose is to consolidate the Hindu vote so that they can get at. But today, alhamdulillah, people are very much understanding the thing that there cannot be a country where only one religion can be there. It is a secular country. We are governed by the secularism and we believe in secularism. And
so why don't you speak about the plight of the Kashmiri Hindus also? No, the Kashmiri Pandits, something that Lalit just spoke about. Or are you embarrassed to speak about what happened vis-a-vis them?
Dipti, it is our party who has stood with the Hindus, with our Pandit brothers. We have talked about them. We've wanted them that they should be rehabilitated. From last 10 years, BJP is in the government, and see what is in their manifesto. In the name of the Tikalal Taklu, they are today launching one scheme just to get the vote, just to use them as the vote bank. What is this? Kindly go through their manifesto.
Okay, you're saying it's the BJP guilty of using vote bank politics. Before I get Tom into the conversation, let me quickly get in Abid Mir Magami, who's also been patiently waiting. He represents the Congress. Now, Abid, is this the language of, a political party that identifies with the constitution of the country, or this is the language of a party and a leader who's not just scared, but someone who wants to ensure that there is a divide and rule? You want to divide and rule. Why should Omar Abdullah be allowed that?
We are not scared anybody. BJP is not going to win a single seat in Kashmir.
What about Omar Abdullah?
What Omar Abdullah said today, it's absolutely right.
That is right, you're saying?
Absolutely right.
You're saying Muslims are being marginalized in the country.
Definitely.
You are saying that Muslims are being humiliated in Assam. You are saying in Karnataka it's the BJP government that banned the hijab.
Whether it is Assam, whether it is UP, whether it is MP, whether it is Karnataka before, BJP, bulldozer has been popular tool for the BJP leaders to target Muslims.
No, but are you aware of the entire matter going to the court? The courts are looking at all this. Likewise, it happened with hijab. Likewise, it happened with triple talaq and a lot of other things.
No, we know that. But
Then?
BJP leaders are used bulldozer only for Muslims.
Now, do you have any evidence to that?
You don't have any evidence?
No, I'm asking you. My job is to ask you questions. When you're making such a blatant statement on national television,
You don't have any picture.
The coalition compulsion, you need to support an Omar Abdullah for your own survival, also perhaps in the valley.
Definitely.
Can you put out evidence? Can you tell me the data that so many houses have been demolished, out of which these many are those that belong to the minorities?
Not only houses, whether it is madrasas, mosques, everything has been demolished.
Everything has been demolished. Tom, so you are guilty. Tom, you are guilty of using, the minorities to spread fear and to consolidate your vote bank, Tom.
Well, Dipti,
how can you say?
I heard them patiently. And this comment by Omar Abdullah and the attempt that he's making to divide our communities is sad indeed. I think the Election Commission must take slow motor notice of his speeches and take action thereby. The issue here is, I heard the Congress party saying a lot of things that they are being prosecuted, what have you. But my straight question is, what is your position on Article 370? Do you support that? Do you support 370? Do you support the genocide of Pandits? If we start talking about what has been happening, will the Congress party stand up? And the NC spoke about the kind of problems that they're facing. I would ask that advocate, what does she think about triple talaq? Was that prosecution of Muslims? What does she think about the various priorities that this government has done for Muslims? The Minority Commission, the kind of allocation that's done, the officers that are there, the scholarships that is being given, is this all anti-minority? I'm a Christian, and I would dare say there is no minority issue in this issue involved. But if your Amr Abdullah takes out his hat and begs for vote, there is visuals of him taking out his hat and saying, please vote for me and I'll be over if I don't get votes. If this is the condition of a candidate after 370 and they want to roll it back, you can understand what this game is. This is the toolkit that some of the diplomats have whispered into their ears.
Okay,
this
Tom,
meeting is
now that
well known.
you've hit out at both the NC and the Congress for this. Allow me a moment. I want to play out exactly what we've also heard from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, who was earlier in the Valley, and he's unveiled the BJP's Sankalp Patra, and listen into this open dare that he has thrown at Rahul Gandhi in particular.
मैं राहुल गांधी जी को पूछना चाहता हूं कि आप देश की जनता के सामने और जम्मू कश्मीर की जनता के सामने स्पष्ट करें, आपका मौन धारण करने से कुछ नहीं होता। क्या नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के एजेंडा के साथ कांग्रेस पार्टी सहमत है या नहीं है? आप हाँ या ना में जवाब दीजिए। मुझे मालूम है वो नहीं देंगे, मैं बता देता हूं वो पूर्णतया सहमत है।
So, Abid, would you want to respond on behalf of Rahul Gandhi to what you've heard from the Union Home Minister Amit Shah?
He has promised to restore the statehood of Jammu and Kashmir, and we will definitely do that.
So you're voicing exactly what you've heard from the National Conference. So the Home Minister is right. He says that this is exactly how Rahul Gandhi would respond.
होम मिनिस्टर जी ने तो पार्लियामेंट में कहा था कि हम स्टेटहुड को रिस्टोर करेंगे।
What about Article 370?
Article 370 सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो वर्डिक्ट दिया है, we will support this.
You will support the verdict of the Supreme Court. So I'm sure Nilofer must have heard that clear. I want to get in quickly Bhuvan and also Jyotsna ji before I come back to all of you for your second comments. Now Bhuvan, there is a larger India alliance at work. Earlier today, Akhilesh Yadav has also tweeted, this is vis-a-vis the alliance in Haryana. But you're looking at both the Congress, the National Conference right now struggling somehow ये दिखाने के लिए भुवन कि उनका अभी भी रेलेवेंस है जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में, वही जम्मू एंड कश्मीर में जहां पर ऑलमोस्ट एवरी फ्राइडे हम पत्थरबाजी देखते थे, बहुत सारी और आतंकवादी घटनाएं देखते थे। क्या आप मानते हैं भुवन कि अब स्थिति बेहतर हुई है और कोई भी नेता हो, चाहे वो उमर अब्दुल्ला ही क्यों ना हो, उनको इस तरह के बयान नहीं देने चाहिए?
देखिए, बयानों की अगर बात करेंगे तो आपको उत्तर प्रदेश से शुरू करूंगा जहां से मैं आता हूं।
नहीं भुवन देखिए, आप आज जम्मू कश्मीर पे बात कर रहे हैं, बड़ा मसला है, इंपॉर्टेंट मसला है, प्लीज देश के लिए सोच के बोलिए, जम्मू कश्मीर पे बोलिए आज।
अच्छा, तो आप, मैं मान लेता हूं आपके चैनल में आप मुख्यमंत्री का जिनका बयान मैं बताना चाहता हूं वो देश के आदमी नहीं है, जो प्रधानमंत्री जी ने मुस्लिम को कहा है।
भुवन आप उमर अब्दुल्ला पे बात शुरू करिए, उसके बाद अपनी बात कंप्लीट करिएगा।
मैं उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब की बात कहूंगा। उमर अब्दुल्ला साहब ने जो कहा है वही आज मुस्लिम का दर्द हमें दिखाई दे। वो इसलिए दिखाई देता है कि देश के मुख्यमंत्री हमारे जिस प्रदेश से आते हैं वो 80-20 की बात कह के चुनाव में जाते हैं, लेकिन वहां पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी के प्रवक्ता साथी को मैं सुन पा रहा था जो कह रहे थे कि इलेक्शन कमीशन कोई नोटिस नहीं लेना चाहिए आज के विषय में। क्या इलेक्शन कमीशन को तब नोटिस नहीं लेना चाहिए? मैं इनसे पूछना चाहता हूँ। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की जो 2024 की जो यात्रा निकलती है वो मटन मछली और आप देखिए क्या आपका मंगलसूत्र छीन लेंगे मुस्लिम, ये कहकर देश के प्रधानमंत्री क्या संदेश देना चाहते हैं, क्या संविधान को याद करना चाहते हैं, ये भी देश ने देखने का काम करा है। और आज स्थिति क्या है, जिस उत्तर प्रदेश से मैं आता हूं मुस्लिम समाज की, वहां पर बुलडोजर का प्रयोग अगर सबसे ज्यादा होता है तो केवल मुस्लिम समाज पे होता है। अगर वहां पे कस्टोडियल डेथ सबसे ज्यादा होती है तो केवल
ये सब तो आप देखिए, आपको कोर्ट में जाकर ये तथ्य रखने चाहिए ना। अगर देखिए कोर्ट इस तरह की बात कहेगा कि एक समुदाय के खिलाफ टारगेटेड एक्शन हुआ है, ऐसा तो कोर्ट ने अभी तक नहीं कहा है। और दूसरी बात यह है कि वही पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ अपीजमेंट, पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ फियर जो उत्तर प्रदेश में इस्तेमाल किया जाता है कुछ नेताओं की तरफ से, वही पॉलिटिक्स ऑफ अपीजमेंट और वोट बैंक इस्तेमाल हो रहा है जम्मू कश्मीर में। लेकिन दोनों ही खतरनाक हैं, क्योंकि आप लोग कहते हैं भारत सेक्युलर देश है, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से चलता है। So, but Jyotsna ji, would you want to respond to what you've also heard from a lot of this opposition saying that when it comes to the minorities, there is a problem. You know, there is this government and the larger narrative of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas. But the Prime Minister himself has said that there should be no, reservation on basis of religion. But when it comes to Andhra, you people hold a very different view.
Yes, Deepti ji. Thank you so much for having me on the panel. I think every party has got their own principle, and in fact, I would like to quote what Omar ji has also said a couple of days ago, and even I think yesterday also he quoted saying that there are certain compromises that we had to do. We had to literally surrender certain seats. We had to compromise. I think that word speaks a lot and means a lot also. Again, when you speak of Muslim reservation, yes, with Telugu Desam Party, we have a very stronger narrative on that, and we are very vocal when it comes to reservations on that particular thing. And again, as I said, every party has got its own principle, and we work on that. And when we come in alliance, there are talks that happen on that. Yes, on certain things, we might have certain differences, but on a larger note, we have to speak as a part of the country. Here, I was just looking at your quotes, Deepti ji. The one that's there on the screen right now, fear tactics. Yes, when you cannot probably win the election, when you cannot probably think of winning an election, both, you can't win and you can't even think of winning the elections, probably you resort to certain tactics. Emotionally blackmailing the voters, one thing. Second thing, if I can quote you, the other day in Telangana, we had one contesting MLA, coming in front of the entire people and say that if you don't vote for me now and you won't make me an MLA, I'll just suicide. Along with my entire family, I'm going to commit suicide. And why am I telling you this is, no community is targeted, Deepti ji. Let me put it very clearly here. We from Telugu Desam Party are an integral part of NDA, and probably you have been in this field for so long, you're a senior journalist, you know it very clearly that we always voice out the voices of Muslims. We have been doing it. There has never been a problem. We have been a part of NDA earlier, we are a part of NDA now. Never ever has been a problem in terms of whether it is Muslim rights or Muslim issues or principles. No, because I don't think any community is targeted as such. But if कोई गलत करता है तो उसको तो सजा मिलनी चाहिए ना। आप चाहे उसको आप बुलडोजर नीति बोलोगे या कुछ और भी बोलोगे। परसों की बात है जब एसपी के एक नेता ने, and he was from the minority community, right? He actually raped a minor girl. So whoever does wrong, he has to be punished. As simple as that. And again, Deepti ji, when it comes to minorities, minority communities, I believe, have been benefited the most from the different welfare schemes under the Modi government. And also, if I can quote properly and correctly, till 2014, Deepti ji, only 4.5% Muslims were government employees. After that, in the past 10 years, it has increased to almost 11 to 12%. So कुछ चीजें हम नजरअंदाज नहीं कर सकते.
ठीक है, I think these are fair points, Jyotsna ji, that you have made. I want to now get in Nilofer for her comment on this. Nilofer, I understand you need to win an election. I understand that, Omar Abdullah realizes that he's up against a lot of discontent this time amongst the voters itself. Forget the opponent. He says, Delhi se koi conspiracy ho rahi hogi. Isn't this a common toolkit, if I could use that word that Tom also just used, where political parties try to, just play on the fear of the voter, the psychosis of the voter, कि उनको डरा दीजिए. Tell them that this is happening. Oh God, this will happen in Kashmir the moment you have any other party barring the National Conference or the PDP. But people are looking at the change, Nilofer.
Dipti, basically it is not fear mongering as you are saying that hum dara rahe hain. It is not like that. It is the truth which is happening in India. If you have gone through the 2021-22 report of the United States, that was done by the analysis which was done by
Nilofer, see, likewise, I can also cite number of reports. I'll ask you a very basic question. When we were sitting discussing this entire show with our team, there is one question that came to our mind. Tell me something, Nilofer. Nilofer ji, tell me something. If everything is so good with an Omar Abdullah, why did he lose the Lok Sabha election? Why did Mehbooba Mufti lose the election? Can you tell me that?
Haven't we heard about the love jihad? Haven't we heard about the land jihad? Haven't we heard about the economical jihad? Haven't we heard about the
Haven't we heard of the voters' power? Have we not heard of the elections? Do we not know what happened at the Lok Sabha election, Nilofer? Why did Omar Abdullah lose that election? Can you tell me?
Yes. I didn't get you.
Why did Omar Abdullah lose the Lok Sabha election?
Why did Omar Abdullah?
Why did he lose the Lok Sabha election?
See, there has been conspiracies also, and today we have also seen that what conspiracies are being done against the Omar Abdullah. On one side, those people whom you are booking under some criminal cases, you speak about them, you say that they are the most nationalist, and on another side you are tagging them that they are the anti-national. Now tell me where the people who belong to BJP, how do they take the
Nilofer ji, do you think that the people are fools? The people don't see this through, Nilofer. To say that Delhi se conspiracy hua hai, someone wanted to, ensure that Omar Abdullah is defeated.
When we speak truth, we are being targeted. We are being targeted.
Who's targeting you? Who's targeting you?
You ask the BJP people to clarify their stand. What do they?
The BJP is fighting election. You are fighting election, much like the Congress and the PDP is fighting election, right? It's the people. It's the people in Jammu and Kashmir who will be voting, Nilofer.
The emotions cannot be exploited.
So you are exactly my point. You are also exploiting emotions of the people when you have Omar Abdullah who says कि मुसलमान खतरे में है.
They are based on the truth.
Okay, I leave it there only for word of time. Nilofer, Jyotsna ji and all gentlemen, for the moment, thank you. I think these are going to be a very, very important election. A test of people like Omar Abdullah, a test of the kind of language they use, and a test of this favorite, like Tom Barakan just said, toolkit of certain people to spread fear and paranoia. We'll track that story much more on the other side of this very quick break.